What's up, everybody? What, Josh? Subbed, rigs of death metal. Oh, shit. Trying to get Paul on here right now. Oh, lo and behold, we're having technical issues again. It never happens on this, does it? Paul Stanley. Oh, Paul from Gremlin Machine Shop is our guest today. Josh always got to put some shit. Yeah. It wouldn't be Josh if he didn't talk shit. Josh, we still need to do one with Sammy and you mediating. All right, so hey, it was Sammy's idea. All right, for real though, I am absolutely going to be changing platforms from IG Live to YouTube because IG Live fucking sucks. What's up? Sammy will do it. Hey, dude, what's
Ryan
up?
Vickers. Hey.
What's going on, man?
Oh, what's happening? Chilling. You said I could do something to kick this off the right way, right?
Go for it.
Okay. We got to do this. Ryan, I have it on, let's fix that. I have it on good authority that in the near future, we'll be able to broadcast these messages to the past. So as far back as 1984 to 1985. So I feel it's our duty, our responsibility as red-blooded Americans to let people in 1985, we've got to warn them about what's going to happen. So can I do that real quick?
Sure.
All right. I need to put it in a way that maybe they'll understand. Okay, transmission begin. People of Earth, 1985, we are coming to you from Ryan Vickers' public broadcast television station called Rigs of Death Metal. It's public access channel. Okay, here's our message to you. Throughout the 1980s, an evil multinational media conglomerate known as the Viacom Corporation will intensify its attempt to poison the minds of the masses and brainwash the general population through its most manipulative television network, MTV. Beware! This TV station will attempt to fully annihilate your consciousness using ultra-low frequency brainwave programming techniques, especially through the following demon seeds: Paula Abdul, Rick Astley, George Michael, Debbie Gibson, Milli Vanilli, and one of the most sinister groups ever conceived of, the New Kids on the Block. Their final attempt at destroying free-thinking human life will culminate in a hit single that will be repeated endlessly, called Every Rose Has Its Thorn by the band Poison, because it is literally poisonous to the mind. Our message is this: be on high alert, shield yourself from these subtle brainwave manipulations. And lastly, if your brain has already been infected by any of these demonic entities, you must, and only must listen to hours and hours of true ass-kicking heavy metal music to undo the harmful effects. Transmission complete. So now that we've done our, we had to do it. I mean, to save ourselves. I think that's the only reason we are even here having this conversation right now.
Yeah,
I mean, don't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Because otherwise, you know, it would have just all gone down the tubes.
Wow. Okay. And with that, everybody, this is Paul. Paul is the brains behind Gremlin Machine Shop, pedal builder, and what all? Well, I'll give you the platform.
Sure.
What are some of your products and services that you offer, Paul?
Oh, we don't need to talk about that stuff. But my name is Paul. Yeah, I mean, who cares? My name is Paul Falk. I'm a 1980 model human, so I'm older than like 99% of the people probably that are going to watch this. Gremlin Machine Shop and Barbarian Fuzz Raiders are my two pedal companies that I do. I'm a Gemini, so I have that dualistic parallel way of thinking, you know. So I started Gremlin back in like 2016, and I did Barbarian last year. Basically, I took all the stuff I learned from doing Gremlin, and I wanted to make it a little more cohesive and stuff like that, and do a different style of stuff over there. Mm-hmm. It's kind of more on the vintage tip, vintage fuzzes and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's who I am and that's what I do. But I'm also a heavy metal music fan, lifelong, just probably like you. And I wanted to ask you just real quick, what was your first experience with heavy metal music, or as a kid or teenager? Like, what was the first tape you heard? I still call them tapes. What was the first like record you heard, or like did a cousin show you a CD, or like how did it go down for you?
Okay, so my dad actually listens to a whole variety of stuff. So I grew up with as much David Allan Coe and Hank Williams as I did,
Okay.
You know, Sabbath. And like my dad still has all of his old Sabbath and Zeppelin vinyls from when he was a kid.
Yes.
He would play stuff on the radio, you know, metal stuff on the radio. I don't think he had too many metal records or anything. He had like he had just random shit. He like there was a random Primus CD that he had.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I have a Primus story for you after a while. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, a lot of the concerts I went to in my younger years, my dad took me to. First concert.
So you had a cool dad.
Yeah. I was pretty fortunate. That was kind of always like the one thing that we ever really had in common. Was
my dad listened to, like, he had two tapes. He had like Huey Lewis and the News and George Jones. He thought that was like, so yeah, I didn't get a cool dad,
dude, those are pretty badass.
But,
I don't know.
No, it's not. No, I do want to hear about your first concert. But I was just gonna tell you real quick, like my first tape, I love telling this story. I've told a billion times, but I've probably told you already. But when I was like 4 years old, it was either 3 or 4, so it was either 83 or 84. I grew up in a small town in East Texas, like 10,000 people, kind of, you know, nobody there even played guitar or anything like that. Not rock guitar anyway. They probably like some acoustic folk Christian music or something. I don't know. Right. But the only place to get music was Walmart. So it's very limited selection. And y'all are going to have to forgive me. I will do a good job of embarrassing myself on this interview, and I will be totally honest and tell you all the embarrassing stuff I used to enjoy. But my mom said, you know, go up in the cassette section, pick anything you want. Okay. So I was looking through there. And the one that caught my attention, because you're probably too young to remember this. You were born like 91, 92.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah, so you might have seen some cassettes, but back in the day, like, you could only see the tops of them. They were in these long anti-theft plastic things, and you could see the top, so you would like pull it out and look at the album art.
Yeah.
So the Iron Maiden logo is what caught my attention. It was pointy and like looked cool, you know what I mean? So I pulled out Peace of Mind, and to her credit, like, she bought it for me. You know what I mean? She, like, you know what? like conservative mom or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, this seems like a good idea. I'll buy my 3-year-old a zombie album. You know, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Peace of mind.
Oh,
But
hell
anyway, I
yeah.
got the flag. Yes, yes. And there's somewhere in town up there. Anyway, that was my first tape. And other than that, like I remember hearing Seek and Destroy from an older cousin, on Kill 'Em All. And another like weird redneck cousin gave me Scorpions Love at First Sting. And the album cover has got like a dude holding this like hot chick, and I thought it was so cool when I was a little kid. You could see the side boob or whatever, and she's Anyway, there's a couple good songs on there. One was called Crossfire. Probably nobody's ever heard it, but it's got like the military snare march stuff. I thought
Yeah.
that was like good. But tell me about your first concert, if you don't mind.
So my first concert is pretty fucking hilarious. It was Kid Rock at age 10. At 10.
All right. Yeah.
And like the girls dancing.
But he was probably kind of big by then.
Huh?
Like he had an album out by then. He was known a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
well, I don't at least I don't know, let's say 10 to 12. I want to say I was like elementary school still. And it was like girls dancing in cages and everything. I was probably way too young to be there.
And did he have on like rebel flag Adidas pants and the wife beater and the little hat and all that stuff, the gold chain? Was it like that?
I barely remember. He probably had a big white fur pimp coat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Probably.
Was it like a rock band with him?
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of metal sound stuff back then?
Yeah, yeah. He's kept. Last I checked, he pretty much kept the same live band, for pretty much his whole career, I think.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. At least he's consistent, I guess.
Reward those you love, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
had
don't know who
cassette
opened
tapes when I
anything?
was a kid, but I never got to go shop for tapes. We had FYE, so I would go like CD shopping or whatever whenever I was like a little middle school mall rat. And
the mall.
yeah, somehow, and I would like skip having lunch just so I could go buy more CDs. And I don't know how. Maybe the guys there were just cool, but I would buy stuff with parental advisory on it.
Yeah, they're like,
I remember I got like Cannibal Corpse's Kill, Children of Bodom Downfall, and then I got a live Megadeth CD with a DVD like with it, and I got it all in like one day. Like I would just buy whatever was gnarly that I've heard somebody mention one time. You know?
Sure, yeah, you gotta check it out, yeah.
Oh yeah. I came across like Cradle of Filth and Origin and just all kinds of cool stuff there. But
I hope you don't mind me asking you some questions on this too, like, cause I don't know much about you either.
Yeah. No,
so did you grow up in Georgia?
No, West Virginia.
Why don't I want to say Georgia? Yeah, no, you're from Georgia, man. Come on.
I've been to Georgia.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually used to be a conductor for the railroad, and I had to go train in Atlanta for like 3 weeks. So that was kind of cool, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, I was born and raised here in West Virginia. It's not like Wrong Turn or whatever. Like
I know. Yeah, no, everybody. Yeah, East Texas people are like, and I just also want to point out we're both from like rednecky kind of places. So yeah. I know we both talk a little slow for most people of the world. So when this is on YouTube, just put it on 1.5 speed and it'll sound much better.
Right.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so you grew up, you had the big pine trees around you and stuff, or am I wrong?
I live in a pretty
woods or trees.
I mean, all of West Virginia's pretty woodsy compared to a lot of bigger places, I guess. But like the part I live in is fairly like suburban, and maybe 20 minutes you're in Ohio. So I'm kind of like right along the river.
Oh. Need to study my geography, so West
uh,
Virginia, Ohio.
it's pretty cool. The area I live in, you can be within like 20 minutes. You can be in Kentucky, like Ashland, Kentucky, or like Ohio. You know, pretty cool little area, I guess.
All right.
But,
Right on. Well, so we got something in common, small areas, fond of the heavy metal. So, hey, we got that. So, no matter if I'm as encyclopedic at death metal as you are, we've got some kind of common ground. You will have to forgive me on that. I have like twinges. Twinges, is that a word? Death metal is like, I have a little bit of that in my game. I'm like, been on this huge thrash kick for the last couple months. This YouTube channel, Ruthless Metal. Have you ever seen that? I think I sent you one.
I don't think so.
It's just, I don't know where the hell he's from, man. He sounds like he's Eastern Bloc or something. He's probably like Greek or something. I don't even know. He's got this thick accent, dude, and he sounds so cool when he talks. Kind of like I always wonder about this. Like Sven from, is it Based? Is that how you say it? Beast, Based.
Beast.
That dude, you never.
Yeah.
Beast.
He's from Denmark.
Yeah. So like, he sounds so cool, like his accent, to me, right? So I wonder if like people in Australia or Sweden think like the twang accent is cool. They're probably, no, you just sound like a redneck dude. The
impression I get is that they all think we're cowboys. Like,
well, you don't have a horse outside?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Got my cowboy boots on right now. No.
Every time I talk to people out of state, it's just nothing but inbred jokes. So,
oh my Lord,
which is funny because it's actually Kentucky is the one that's like, if we're talking numbers,
okay,
it's actually Kentucky's the bad one.
Yeah. Hey, Texas blames everything on Oklahoma or Arkansas. So
yeah,
I know your little defense mechanism you got there. All right. Well, I know how you do it. You want to see some gear first? You want to see some guitars?
Sure. Let's go.
And then I'll show you around the shop. I'll show you all the amps and stuff. So let's just like give the people what they want, shall we?
Sounds good.
All right. So yeah, here's a quick story. The other day, like a month ago, I had 3 guitars and like 12 amps in this little ass room.
Oh wow.
And I was like, no. This is out of balance, right? So I sold like 5 of the amps and got like 5 guitars.
Oh yeah.
So I did it really just to have cool stuff to show you. That's what I care about. I want more street cred. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So here's my number one axe always, Gibson Sg.
That's sick. This
is that like 2017 Alpine white.
Yeah.
And I love the white guitars, man. I know you like them some too.
Oh, for sure.
It was the gold series, so it had all gold hardware on it. But I wanted to make it kind of like Road Warrior ugly looking, so I mixed in like a bunch of nickel stuff. So I changed these tuners to like that. These are like old 80s Keystone tuners.
Yeah.
I just think Keystone tuners look tough on SG, and I don't know how well this stuff's going to show up, but they're like gold here and then nickel out here.
Okay.
And I kept like the gold washers. Anyway, point being, I'm mixing like nickel and gold. I got the TP6 tailpiece because I think it makes it look a little tough. You know what I mean? Just personally. Some people are probably, no, that's some cheesy stuff, man. But the gold tailpiece, then like I got the aged nickel tune-o-matic. And these are Avedisian pickups.
Oh, cool. What ones?
It's a P90. I don't know what he calls it. I just said, hey, man, make me a P90. So it's like a custom wound P90 for the neck. So I always wanted a P90 and a SG. Get that kind of like thicker single coil, sweet, syrupy lead stuff. You know how it is. Or like if you're going clean, it sounds really good. And then this is his, it's called the, Night Prowler.
Oh, yeah.
It's either Night Prowler or Trailblazer. That's the 2 he makes. And man, I forget stuff like almost as soon as I get it. But so that's the SG.
I think a buddy of mine got a Night Prowler for I think his Les Paul maybe.
Dude, the Night Prowler neck pickup is like the best neck pickup I've personally ever used. Now I haven't gone through 100 different pickups like a lot of people. But I love it. And it's cool because I'm a big passive pickup guy, first and foremost. I just always have used them. I'm just used to the dynamics and all that sort of stuff as opposed to like an EMG. I have one guitar in here I'll show you at the end with the EMG. But the Night Prowler is like a lower output. It's like 9K or something, and which yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about the bridge.
Oh, for the bridge. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's under 10 for sure. But see, if you're using like an overdrive or something anyway, like you don't need a super high output pickup. Anyway, so yeah, I love the Abadesian stuff. Okay, this is one I just got. It's the Ibanez Rg 550DX reissue. I had been looking at RGs, and of course this is made in Japan. I'm a big Japan guy. I think I told you that. This has got to be an underrated X, man. Like the reason I got it is I had been looking at like those old RG 770s or whatever. They made them back around 92, but they reissued them within the last 10 or 12 years or something. I like those because the little lightning bolt inlays are colored, and so like the blue guitar has the blue inlays, or the red one has the red, and I think that looks dope. Like,
I've seen that.
What I think, what I think is cool, other people think's cheesy. I don't like popular stuff, I guess, but I don't know what happened with this, but one of the Sam Ash stores on Reverb put it up for $4.99. And this is like an $1,100 guitar. Yeah, I think they thought it was like the RG like 350 or something. I just think they thought it was something else. And I had just been looking at the other RGs, and I was like, wait a minute, So I snatched it up. And the cool thing about those Sam Ash Reverb listings is it's $12.50 shipping fee. I guess they get the killer deal. So it was like $511.50 or whatever, $512.50.
Damn.
Yeah. So like less than half price on it. I always hunt those deals, man.
For sure.
And then I asked the guys like, so this doesn't have a case or what's the deal? And he said, I think we started talking about some heavy metal stuff, and he like knew like I was down or whatever.
Right.
And he's like, I think I got a case for you. So he threw me in like the badass Ibanez correct hard shell case with it. It wasn't even like listed that way. So score.
Hell yeah, wheel and deal.
Yeah. You'll like this one, Ryan. I believe. I think you said you like the 80s super strat kind of things. This is a Charbelle Model 4. Now you'll notice the electronics. I ripped all that stuff out.
What do you got in there?
See,
I see sorry, there's like
it's supposed to be 3 knobs. The only thing about these, man, is they have the worst switching I've ever conceived of. It's just like individual switches to turn on and off each pickup. So I don't know how you would do that on stage. Like you're like this, and you have to flip on and off. If you want to go from bridge to neck, you got to turn off one and on the other. I don't know. I think it's fine for studio guitar or something like that. Anyway, I just slammed the neck pickup down. Like I don't ever use the middle pickup. I never use middle pickups. I don't get them or whatever. And I left one of the switches in. I just go straight between bridge or neck. It doesn't have like a center position for both.
Oh, okay.
So I can just go like neck for clean, and then like kick on a different amp channel and distortion at the same time that's a super distortion.
Okay.
And notice on these single coils, dude, they don't have that extra little cutout like some single coils have.
Yeah.
For the mount. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some are like that, and then they have that. So these mount on the sides, and I found that the lace sensor pickups are direct drop-ins. Okay. So this is like a lace sensor purple, which is, they say it's P90 like. So we've already discussed like P90 and the neck's cool. So it's like kind of hot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the Kahler. I know it's pronounced Kala. If you say it the German way, it'd be Kala.
Okay. I guess it makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Never really
But in the
thought about
USA,
it.
we'd be like, Kaler. It's that Kaler, man. Come on, man.
Right?
But yeah, the aged white, it looks like a, probably not on this image, but in person, it looks like that cheese color.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So cool. Yeah, cool shit.
I love that.
All right. So these are my three newest bad boys right here. Charbelle Model 6.
Okay.
These are different than the Model 4s in
Mhm.
that they are 24 fret, neck through, and the access is sweet. It's like smooth. And I mean, I'm not much of like a shredder, you know what I mean? But for those who do, there you go.
Okay.
And it's 25.5 inch.
Okay.
This one also has the collar. But the dude like stripped out the damn whammy bar thing, and I can't get a bar in there. So I'm gonna have to buy a new crossbar from Whammy Parts Plus or something and install that on my next string change or something.
Gotcha.
This one I left the no, I wired it for bridge only.
Okay.
And I deleted the upper knob because like I play with my hand open a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get on this side. And it's, you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
already. So I deleted the original volume knob. I put this it's this button with claws on it that like grabs, and I just colored it black with Sharpie. So you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
permanent Sharpie. And I moved the volume down and then left the tone. Originally, they have like a mid boost, an active mid boost circuit in it or something. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the original Jackson pickups on it. So I just put that super distortion in today. It's got the black pole, so it looks super blacked out.
I thought it was like an X2N or something at first. It looks like it's got bars. Oh, I see it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to order it with the black pole pieces because this guitar is so dark. You might have seen the original picture where I had that white pickup in there, and oh my God, it was just like toxic to your eyes. You know what I mean? It's like looking at me in the sun or something. It's just like, stop. So I had to put the whole black, make it look. But this blue color is amazing in person. They photographed terribly, the midnight blue.
Yeah.
But in person, man, it is smoking.
Damn.
So, yeah, that's my first Model 6. Let's move on, shall we? This is the new one. This was the birthday guitar, which I made a little video on that. I sold like a bunch of pedals that I had in storage, not Gremlin pedals, like, a couple Black Russian muffs and some other kind of, high value ones. And I sold a 5150 combo to cover the cost of this thing. I'm all about like consolidating a bunch of randomness into a guitar right now. Just like I would rather have one high value item that's like totally killer. That's a nice lifetime piece. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and this is the same thing as that Model 4, that kind of cheese color. It's aged just beautifully. And this thing, it's not mint, but it is as clean as I have ever seen a Model 6 that's been listed. So
those are killer, man.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. It is killer. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but I kind of like the stock electronics in this one. I don't know why. It's the same as the other ones, but this one just reacts a little better.
Right.
I don't know why.
Hey, every guitar is different.
Exactly. Just who knows? The pot value might be 20K different, and I don't know. The treble response, who knows?
Right.
And so this is the same thing in essence as a Model 6, but it's the 1990 Jackson made in Japan. It's called a Jackson Professional.
Okay, yeah.
So it's got that little professional badge on the end. But a lot of these are bolt-ons. This one is the sick. Actually, I think it's the same as the Charbelle 650 XL. And it's got this extra kind of cutaway.
Yeah, that's sick.
So this one's got Yeah, it's got even smoother access than the Model 6 does. The Model 6 kind of had more of a heel, and it stayed flatter longer and then had the heel. And this is like extra cutaway. So, I mean, just you set your hand in there and you're on the 24th fret. It's pretty wild.
Dude, I kind of reminds me of like a soloist, though. You know what I mean? Just like the
Yeah,
net
this is a
through.
soloist.
Huh?
Yeah, this is a soloist.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
The
it's Jackson
professional series.
Professional Soloist. Yeah, it's the first year, 1990 of the Japan Professional. And
That's
people say these rival the USA shop. I mean, I don't know. I've never had a USA, but I'm good with it for like half the price or whatever.
I've heard a lot of people talk good about the old professional series. That if you can get your hands on one, then I think I've actually even got a couple saved in like my Reverb watch list or whatever.
For sure. Yeah, I'm interested in those. I've been trying to see if there's not a Jackson Kelly that has a neck through. There are some. There's one in Russia right now on Reverb. It's called a Stars, Jackson Stars, and I guess they were made in Japan, and some of those are neck through. But I mean, the dude wants a fortune for it. So it's weird. He had it down to like 1,300 the other day, and now he raised it up to 2,200 or something. So I have no idea, man. I'm kind of scared to order guitars from Russia. I don't know if that's like old 1980s programming. Like, you're not going to get it from that communist country, or I don't know. But I order stuff from Japan all the time.
You can't.
No problem.
You can't shake the Reagan off your back.
Yeah, I'm a damn Reagan, baby. Fucking evil programming. That's we're trying to obsolete that with our little message at the start of this video. I've got two more guitars to show you, and then if you want, we can move on to amps or whatever. This is a cool axe, man.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
It's a 1984 NJ series Japan, which NJ, if people don't know, probably most people on here know because you're all experts compared to me anyway. NJ does not stand for New Jersey. It stands for like Nagano, Japan, or something like that. I can't remember the city, but
Nagoya?
that was maybe. I was thinking it was Nagano, but it might be Nagoya. I thought Nagoya is where they made the high end, like cool ones, but maybe it is. I'm tripping. Sure. You know what I mean? I'd have to look it up again. But yeah, the difference on these to the USA is it's more pinched here. Yeah, look it up while I'm talking about this damn thing. But it's tighter here. The USA one comes out there a little more. It's a little wider. And this thing, it's real wide down here, but it feels small, man. It feels like a tiny little guitar.
The cutaway looks sick on that.
Yeah, and the horns are real sharp.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They look really good. It's a bolt-on, but I ain't tripping. Whatever.
I don't have a bit of a problem with bolt-on. It's like a little.
I get it for the shredders. I get it as far as the shredders that are trying to get a pie and they do not want their hand to hit there. I get that. Yeah. But like I said, I'm not a professional musician like a bunch of guys. I'm just like a riff machine. So I'm always like down here thrashing, you know what I mean? But you're right, like the bolt-on mechanically is not necessarily inferior to like glued neck or whatever. Right. I mean, I think about it because I'm a mechanical technician on like sonar systems and stuff for a job. But would you rather bolt something together or glue it together if you want it to last forever? You're gonna go with hardware bolts every time. But guitars, it's different. The craftsmanship, of course, is up whenever you're talking the neck through stuff, and so that's why the prices are higher. But as far as sustain and stuff, I don't have any scientific like data on that stuff. You know what I
mean? Everyone claims like bolt-on is like a little bit snappier sounding. I don't know. I think everyone but I think that kind of stems from Fender versus Gibson. you know, which
Oh yeah,
there's a million factors that make those sound worlds different anyway. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, I guess.
exactly. The bridge type, the nut type, how good the
Pickups.
slots are, the pickup height, the pole pieces height, like
Right.
everything. It's kind of like that with pedals too. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about the pedals with the
So,
metals.
yeah, one of the guys on here is like clamoring for pedals.
Oh yeah, like sorry, somebody. I need to look at pedals, pedals.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know that dude. He's a good customer of mine. He's bought a lot of my stuff. Let's see. I just want to read the comments and be sure if I didn't miss anything crucial.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
it is Nagoya.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad I know that now.
Yeah.
I like those like 1985 Nagoya Ironbirds.
Oh yeah.
The
I
headstock looks real mean on them.
I have never played an Iron Bird in real life.
I think I'm trying to think if I have. If I did, it was over at Joe's house at Joe Anastasio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's got that
Lone
green
Wolf.
one.
Yeah, we can't talk about death metal pedals without bringing up Lone Wolf a little bit.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
my homie, man.
I love Joe.
Short. Yeah, he's cool, man. He catches a lot of hell from people. It's kind of self-created hell in a lot of ways, but but no, that's my homie, man. Short side story. I'll try to keep it short. Joe gave me a side job working with him before I started Gremlin, like immediately before. So I have built, quite a few Lone Wolf pedals. Like some of them, I didn't sign them or anything like that. I'm not vain,
Right.
but yeah, no, this was built by me. I'll be Gremlin some. No, but he let me come work with him on the weekends. He was down in San Marcos, Texas, south of Austin. I would ride my motorcycle down there in the toy sidecast, and sometimes I would like work in exchange for like a Lone Wolf unit or something. I'd be like, hey, I kind of want this thing, and I'm gonna show you a couple of those
Oh
coming
yeah.
up. But we had a lot of good times together, man. Like I would kind of watch him play video games because I'm not like a new age gamer that like if I play a first person shooter or something, right? As soon as I spawn and pick up a first weapon, like some kid is like taking my ass out like every time, and I get so frustrated. Like a fighting game, I mash all the buttons,
Right.
just trying to kick somebody. Anyway, so we do that. He would take me out, like him and his wife Haley, dude. We would go to like a nice sushi place, and they would just be like, "Get everything you want," you know what I mean? So like I said, he catches a lot of hell from people, but he's a cool dude. And if you want to talk like some extreme death metal references, like he lives that life. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
I
yeah.
said, I'm kind of on the fringe of that, and I'm more like a thrash and traditional heavy metal dude. So I appreciate you having me on here in spite of that. But you
Sure.
should, yeah. If he ever has time, you should talk to Joe sometime, I would say.
We've talked about it. I I'm
He
like
does his own thing a lot. I mean, he's a Jersey guy, so no.
uh we recently just kind of worked out like a whole deal. I bought one pedal off of him. Then he was looking for some video games, and I just happened to own a bunch that he was looking for. So then I got
Oh,
two
really?
two more pedals on trade for a bunch of Game Boy stuff.
There you go.
So it worked out
Yeah, yeah.
pretty well.
He's cool like that. He's got the sinister collection of video games, and as you know, he's got a
Fuck
bunch of
yeah.
sick guitars, like Gibsons and BC Riches, and like he's got a pretty sick Jackson Warrior, like a hot pink one. I'm not gonna tell you what he traded for that, but it was kind of like, oh, like both of the guitars in that deal were just like, holy crap, they were sick. Um,
I believe it.
anyway, yeah. Sidetrack. This is the last guitar I have in here, and you can laugh at this one all you want to, but it's a Bronze Series Mockingbird I got the other day. for like $100 off Craigslist or 120 or something. I don't even know. But
Yeah.
what I wanted to do, they actually have a mean headstock on them. Like I like that headstock.
Yeah.
It's not like one of the super cheesy looking ones. Like I don't really like the Harpoon. It just sticks way over too far for me personally. Not a big fan of it. But what I wanted to do was upgrade the pick. This is where that MG81 I told you about is. I pulled that out of that blue Charbelle, so I just had it sitting there, and I was like, I'll throw it in that mock. But what I wanted to do was black this thing out. I wanted to try to upgrade the pickups and hardware and see if it just doesn't play like a better Mockingbird. You know what I mean? The shape is actually pretty good. It's got like the contour on the top a little bit there, whereas some of them like look real flat now. But this is I believe this is a Shaler wraparound, or Schala in German, Schala, like Kala, wraparound. Sorry, we gotta get it right. Don't want to offend nobody that speaks the Germanic languages. Yeah, the wraparound, so it's like a good bridge. And I put these, I kind of screwed it up a little bit, but what are these, like Goto, or however the heck you say it, the Japan, or maybe they're Korea now, I don't know. But, you know, so I upgraded those, put the EMG81, rewired it for, this is just the original pickup. And again, I used that awesome permanent industrial Sharpie and blacked out the pole pieces. And I deleted the switch, so it's just running bridge, like straight bridge with volume and tone. It's those EMG pots and all that. And I deleted the switch with this like black oxide bolt. So it's just a hex head bolt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, but like from 2 feet away, I mean, you can't tell what it is. Right. And it's it's way lower than the knobs. So my hand's not going to hit it at all. So it's just, And it actually plays really good. The neck on this is nice. It's a thin neck this way. And I guess you could say this way as well. It's thin, you know, width-wise. But below 12th fret, just riffing, it's fine. There's a kind of a problem with it on like the 17th fret. It kind of buzzes or frets out a little bit, but you know, whatever. For $120, I'm like 200 in it with the hardware. You know what I mean?
Right.
I may give it to my niece. I went and played a little, you know, patio show for them the other day, and she was like, "I want to learn to play guitar." So I may give her a sick ass looking Mockingbird to learn on.
Absolutely.
You know?
No judgment here. I got a Bronze Series BC Rich Beast, which I've done a bunch of stuff to it.
You have to. You got to mod it up a little bit for fun.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up selling it though to try to fund that Woodwright that I just got.
Oh yeah.
Or that I just
is that a secret? Like, or is that like everybody knows about that thing now?
The Woodwright?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I posted about it and shit. I've made a post on my personal page. I just put it on the story for the rigs page. But those things are almost sold out already.
I don't doubt it, man. It's cool. And that's kind of a silver burst, right?
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like one of the like the First Act DC6. It's kind of modeled after that, or like the old Yamaha SGs.
Yes, yeah, that's what it reminded me of. I had forgotten about the First Acts, and you know, when I first saw like the First Act stuff, I thought it was like some Walmart level stuff because there's some other brand like First something.
No, there is First Act, but they had
and then I saw like Mastodon or somebody or Matt Pike, somebody got like some signature stuff, and I was like, what? I was like, I know they're not playing some little Hello Kitty level X's, you know. They got some legitimacy now. So
back in like the early 2000s, dude, like all those like either alternative or prog metal, whatever you want to call bands like Mastodon and Baroness. Those bands, a bunch of metalcore bands like Every Time I Die and Norma Jean, like everybody was playing those fucking First Act customs. like everyone, and then they just went under somehow. Like
Oh,
it was the weirdest thing. They were everywhere, and then boom, they're gone. So there's I think Yamaha brought back the SG for there for a minute, but Wood.
I had not seen any reissuance, but that's not a bad idea because Jesus Christ, people love those things.
Oh, for sure. But I think uh, Woodbine. God, I already forgot like the company's actual name. Uh, well, I'm getting it mixed up though because Woodwright is like just this limited run that they're doing. Um, have you like checked out like Does It Doom, like their
Yes,
channel?
I've seen some of their videos and stuff over time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know the story behind these Woodwright guitars?
I don't know the story behind it, no, but I think you mentioned to me it was like a Does It Doom collaboration with some
Yeah.
guitar builder or
Yeah.
lumber company or whatever. Yeah.
They
Somebody that knows what they're doing, obviously.
yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, Woodbine. Okay, that's what they're called. There's
All right.
yeah, this custom shop called Woodbine, and they made a model called the Warlord that was like a major tribute to those old first
Oh,
custom DCs. But they're
that's a
like,
sweet name, the Warlord.
oh yeah, but they're like
You got to
under
have a hardcore
$3,000.
name. Oh,
But so Steve from Does It Doom and Woodbine, they figured something out, and they got the factory. I can't remember their name, but it's the factory that makes the Reverend guitars.
Reverend, is that what you said?
Yeah, the Reverend guitars.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whatever factory builds Reverend, whatever overseas factory does their stuff. So they collaborated, and they're coming out with Woodwright, and they're like 1,300. So
Hey.
like a third of the cost of their custom shops, but it has like all the same features and stuff, and
Yeah.
so
And it's a modernized guitar as opposed to like if you got a vintage Yamaha one, can you find those around 1,300? You can, right? Or I mean, a year ago you could, but man, the used market's so insane now
yeah.
with everything. I don't know if you could or not. Yeah.
Not to mention, no one's ever really selling those things, Like you don't see them pop up.
Well, yeah. hmm Hey, a couple people asked questions I just want to touch on. Somebody asked if I guess either one of us ever sand the poly off of the back of the neck.
Oh,
No, no, I do not. um, the only thing, well, I can't even say. No, I don't. I leave the finish. It doesn't bother me to hell or whatever, but I like some of those newer guitars where it's already done that way, but I couldn't see myself like totally destroying the value of any of these just because I want it to feel a little quicker or something. Like I said, I'm not a high tech shredder anyway, but if I was, I would probably just buy a guitar for that. You know, I would go pawn my car or my wife or something, and no, I better not make wife jokes. She's in another room. She might be listening.
I haven't sanded any poly off of my guitars because I don't own any that have it. The only guitar I own that has a finish neck, it's a satin finish, and it's my Eclipse. I would, but,
if it's cheap enough guitar, I would, but not one of these like $1,500 vintage Japan joints. Hell to the no.
So it's something I'm gonna have to kind of come to terms with when I get this Woodwright because I'm pretty sure the neck is finished. My cousin had a '90s Gibson Sg, like an all black one, that kind of lived here at my house for a little while, and I gave it a proper setup and everything for him. And I was playing on that thing for a while. I was on a big rigor mortis kick, so I was like, doing some Mike Scascia worship and all that. And I was like, man, it's like I fucking hate Gibson necks. It was bugging the shit out of me. I was like,
Wow.
it's like, this feels like shit. Why do they do this? Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, especially if your hand gets a little sweaty, sometimes it like grabs that,
yeah.
you know, right, or your palm or whatever. I know, I get that.
I mean,
My guitar,
he's not a lead player though. He's just, you know, he's into like Mastodon and Red Fang and a lot of those kind of
okay,
bands. So it's right up his alley, and it sounded killer. I would have put a little bit hotter pickups in it myself, but that's, you know, personal preference. But I don't know. There are times I've gone back and forth, like maybe I should just get a Les Paul. And I was like, you know, Zach Wilde, you know, always played Les Paul. I was like, I'm sure he didn't need to sand the neck. And then I looked up. He's like, you know what? Hang on a minute. And I looked up his Les Pauls, and they all have unfinished necks. So I was like, well, fuck.
exactly. Yeah. Hey, this dude TJ asked if we saw that Cameron from Sanguisabog put his stealth up on reverb, and I would just say if it's a BC Rich on reverb, then I have certainly see it. I don't know who Cameron or that band, I'm assuming that's a band name, is, but I look at BC Riches every day on reverb and eBay because I am sadly hunting for a neck through Mockingbird that I like. I sold the one I had a year ago for the worst reason. I'm not even going to tell you why on the video. I will tell you in private message why I sold the guitar. It's not humiliating. It's the worst reason. Anyway, y'all are going to have to suffer with the question of why. So anyway, I have seller's remorse now. I actually messaged the guy, this dude Kevin, like yesterday. I was like, "Hey, buddy, any chance you'll sell me back that joint?" And he was like, "No." He said, "I just got it plecked, and I've always wanted a vintage Mockingbird." And I was just like, "Okay, I understand, you know." But so anyway, point being, I make these long tangents all the time. Ryan, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I look at BC Rich stuff on the daily, so I'm sure I've seen the stealth. And I'm a big Chuck fan, so I do like stealth.
I did not know it was on reverb. I hadn't seen it. Had I seen it, I probably might have bought it instead of the Woodwright, to be honest.
I'm guessing it's probably more like 1800 or something. So
I don't know. It's a 7-string Mark Rizzo model. I know exactly which stealth it is. It's got.
Is it like brown looking or is it black?
It's black.
Okay.
It's a black 7-string stealth. It's got EMGs. I always thought that it was like one of the coolest BC Rich ever. And,
like, so you know this particular guitar?
Yes.
Like the exact one you're talking about?
Yes, because
that's that
I'm
encyclopedic knowledge I was talking about.
I'm also a big fan of Cameron and his band Sanguisabog.
I can't even pronounce that. Go ahead.
I actually got a T-shirt. Oh, dude! And you know what's funny? The T-shirt. They did like this really weird graphic, but it's like a weird, almost like a negative of Cameron playing that stealth on the T-shirt. It's kind of cool. I'll send a picture or something later, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Damn, that sucks. It's even got like a Floyd on it and everything. I mean, that thing is sick. That's crazy because that's been like his main for like a few years now.
No telling. Maybe he wants the Woodwright. Maybe it's like, I gotta find this Woodwright.
Maybe I'll work up a trade. Who knows?
Yeah. Send him a message, man. See what's up. Yeah. I wanted to ask. There were a few topics I promised somebody we would talk about.
Okay.
Kitty cats. You know, cats. Okay. Dinosaurs. Yeah. We'll get straight away to that one. dinosaurs, and I think I made a note somewhere, and monster trucks.
All right.
All right, so kitty cats. All right, Ryan, this question is for you, sir.
Okay.
What is it? What is it about death metal guys with this tough, crusty exterior, masculine presence, but they love their kitty? They love their little kitty cats. Have you ever seen like the Cats on Amp thing?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know? I mean, do you even know like the trend I'm talking about? Just like
I
these
do.
badass death metal dudes, but they got
Yeah.
cats. Like I got a cat. I have a silverburst cat. I call it my silverburst kitty because he's silverburst, like a Gibson.
Yeah. Somebody said Cameron just stepped down from Sanguisuka Bog. Really?
Uh-oh.
That's like his
Ryan,
that was like his
time to
band.
audition, buddy. Get your audition in.
Oh shit.
Send in your demo tape.
I don't know if I party as hard as they do.
You can be the straight edge one that like keeps everybody in line and books the shows and make sure everybody gets there on time.
Anyway,
Also,
sorry, the cats. I don't know.
do you have a cat?
Nah, I have owned very few pets in my life, and they were for very brief stints of time.
But you have kids.
I have kids.
Okay, so you're excused.
Yeah. I got a
Good on
7-year-old
you.
and I got a 7-year-old and I got an 8-month-old.
Well, I know the 8-month-old is not yet interested, but is the 7-year-old interested in playing an instrument yet?
He has a drum set and a guitar.
Uh-oh.
So
Look out.
yeah, he's
Little Master Vickers is gonna come shred us all to pieces in about 10 years.
oh for sure. I got a little Boss
Cool.
Katana 50 combo upstairs that he
There
plays
you
on
go.
more than I do.
Yeah,
But
that's cool.
yeah. The drums, we have to time it right for him to go upstairs and play those. But
You got to get an electronic kit, homie.
yeah, I don't know.
The Roland like TD 17 kV, they're expensive, dude, but that's what you got to do.
They are. I've looked at them several times because I was like,
Like you can get one like 1500 or something, but
yeah.
they sound awesome, dude. Like the new ones, I think I had rented a TD, I think it's called a TD 17 kV, and like some of the kits on there are like incredible sound, and they've got those white pads on them, so
Yeah.
they roll really good, and like the technology on those modules is so good now. I mean, dude, they're good for practice. You wouldn't want to roll up on stage with one like
Right.
trying to look legit. They would just be like, God. But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, we just finished our death metal set. We're gonna do some drum and bass and jungle.
Oh, okay.
He could do
Uh,
get you a scratch DJ or something.
to answer about like the trend of the cat thing, I'm pretty sure we're all just posers deep down. But some
Big
of us,
softies. It's like dudes just want to be accepted and they just want to hug, really. Like they weren't accepted like in some way growing up. That's how most of us are though. To some degree, you know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
I had like a good childhood and like whatever good Christian grandparents and all that. So I mean, I can't be like one of those. I can't take it to that extreme of like gore and violence against. I'm like kind of anti-religion and all that, like anti-orthodoxy. But I mean, the thing we share in common with heavy metal is typically a sense of rebellion, right? Rejection of authority, censorship, I'm gonna go on a rant now. The plastic hollow existence of corporate consumerist culture. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think we share that, and it's like, you see your parents or something like living this like corporate suburban life, and no offense to you if you live in the suburbs or something, it's great, but it's like, does that define life as being good? And for a lot of us, we need some excitement, and heavy metal is an excitation, right? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it generates something within you to just like, throw that fist up and throw the horns up. And, that's why I like it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
So
Need
see,
some
we
need some to
agree.
need some way to vent out about life.
That's, that's it. What's it called? You got to vent your frustration somehow.
Kind of outlet.
But it makes me like calm, dude. Yeah. Like if I want to put on the best kind of music for driving calmly in traffic, death metal.
Hell yeah.
Keep it calm.
Let me see. What were the other two things?
Oh, dinosaurs. But before I ask you your favorite dinosaur, I was gonna say I don't usually drink, but I'm toasting you up. I had a 6-pack of White Claw to be totally hipster, but my mom came by and drank it all this morning while I was out running errands. So
That's
all I got
awesome.
left is no, I'm totally lying about the White Claw and my
Oh
mom. She
man.
didn't take that shit. Some kind of what is this? Damn. Icelandic Arctic Lager.
Okay.
Einstock. It looked kind of heavy metal, so I grabbed it.
Oh sweet.
So I'm having a beer with you.
Anything with a Viking on it.
I know, and it's hot as hell in Texas. Like normally, if I was going to drink one beer, it would be some badass stout, some barrel aged, like something for real.
Right.
But it's so hot, man. Like even the lager's about all I can do right now. So, but yes, dinosaurs. This is a brief conversation. This is a brief side thing. What was your favorite dinosaur as a kid?
Spinosaurus.
What?
Spinosaurus.
You can't just make up words and say that was a dinosaur, Ryan, like a real one. No, I've not heard of that one, dude.
Hang on.
Spine.
It was in one of the Jurassic Park movies.
Frankensteinosaurus.
No, Spinosaurus.
You are lying.
No, it's one
thing?
of oh shit, I just lost it. It's one of the only I think it's one of the most complete like dinosaur fossils that we've actually been able to find. I'm not shitting you.
They'll clone it soon. They'll actually have one of those running around in a minute.
It's the largest. I don't know if I believe that the largest carnivore. It kind of. I swear to God, it's in one of the Jurassic Park movies. I want to say 3, and it kind of looks like a T-Rex, but it's got like a longer snout, and it's got like the big fin that runs down its back, and it actually can swim too.
Oh Jesus, that's terrifying.
Right?
Man, I mean, even those like a little one would be terrifying if you saw it. But,
oh yeah, but no, this thing was like maybe even bigger than a T-Rex. It was at least as big.
That is insane.
Yeah,
I've not heard of them. That's cool.
Yeah, they're fucking mean.
I was infatuated personally with pterodactyls. I thought they were so cool because they were like, there was pterodactyl and I think it's pterodon, spelled with PT the same way, and they were the two main like flying ones.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was like the coolest ass thing when I was a kid. Anyway, we don't have to talk about that. I promised somebody I would. It was like a little kid.
Dude, I was like a big National Geographic nerd when I was a kid. I mean,
like the yellow magazines and stuff, or what do you mean?
I just like watching shows and stuff.
Oh, okay, the channel.
Yeah.
Dude, like I would say I love the big cat shows, like leopards and tigers and jaguars.
Right.
I love big cats. Like that's my thing. Like matter of fact, I even somewhere around here I had this little stuffed cougar when I was a little kid, and my mom gave it to me last year. She kept it all these years, and so I have my cougar, my little cougar.
Awesome.
Yeah, but anyway,
anything animals, nature, even dinosaurs, whatever. I'm all about that. I took my family to the zoo, not last year, but the year before the world ended, and I think I enjoyed. I mean, Liam, my oldest son, he got to feed a giraffe. He thought that was pretty sick. But
like from his hand, or just like chunk it out there and watch it. What?
Yeah.
I don't know if I do that. Like if it licked your hand, you would freak out.
No, he did like a champ. He held out some lettuce. We were at this little, there's like a little platform, and you can just like walk up and hold some lettuce out, and they'll eat it out of your hand.
That's cool.
Yeah, he thought it was awesome.
Heck yeah.
And other than that, he like as the day progressed, he got less interested. But,
He's like, okay, Dad, take me home. I want to practice some Dave Lombardo licks.
yeah.
The drum. Yeah. It's time to go. And you're all having fun, like a little kid. Ooh, I want to see the snakes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come on,
Like,
go, Dad. Come on.
I think it was the Columbus Zoo, and it's like divided up by like continent or whatever.
Oh, all right.
And I think my wife was like, can we go yet? And like we've been there most of the day. She was like wanting to go, and like Liam was kind of tired of walking around. I was like, we didn't even get whatever was left. Maybe Africa or something. I was like, we didn't even get to Africa yet.
Oh my God, that might be the best one though. I mean, you would think like Antarctica would be a short visit.
It was. I think that was the last one we did. You know what? We did
They
Africa.
had like,
Never mind. Africa was first. I don't know.
okay,
There was only like
like
one continent left. I was a little sad, but I mean, dude, it's expensive. You want your money's worth too.
Yes, for the whole family, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to see some amps, or do you want to discuss monster trucks? Let's do amps first. We've been talking too much boo-sha-sha. You want to see the amps?
Sure.
You're like, yeah, whatever you want to do, man. All right, let's see some amps. I'll show you my pedals too, like some Gremlins and Barbarians.
Oh
my God. Okay, can you instruct me on how to flip around this video?
I
don't know. I'm like a boomer.
know what? Oh.
Double tap it. Oh, I see it. I just my super white forehead was blocking out the arrows. Okay, here we go.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. 1985 JCM 800 2204, 50 watt. And that's on a 1982 JCM 800 appropriate cab that I got a killer deal on that. It's got those Rolla G12 65, the ones that people claim are like the best for thrash metal or whatever. I don't know that there's any merit to that. Because I've heard G12T 75, like,
yeah,
you know, greenbacks, whatever, but they're good. It's awesome. Dude, I know. My tone will put you to sleep of my voice.
No.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'm a dad too. Give me a break.
I know. All right, so this one's cool, man. This is a 80s Butcher, EV Butcher. I like these single channels, man. I'm such a minimalist. Like some of those Ingles and like all that with the 3 channels, they're dope. Yeah. But man, I would have to like study it too long to figure out what I want to do. So the Butcher, if you don't know, is JCM 800 architecture.
Yeah.
Circuit wise. So I mean, it's even got the high and low input, pre and post, the EQ, and the presence knob. The difference is.
I was gonna say. Go ahead. I like them because I feel like they kind of dirty up. Like they just sound a little dirtier and nastier than an 800.
I don't know if they get quite as high gain, as much distortion, because there's either, I can't remember, I'd have to look up the schematic. It's either one less preamp tube or one less gain stage in it. So what I did was, well, I have to show you this other amp to be able to talk about what I did. What's your VTM 60?
Yeah.
And that's on my 2 prized Worshipper 212 cabs. Worshipper is a local cab company out of Austin, Texas. They make like them and Emperor and Atlas, they're all kind of doing that same thing. They look like some kind of badass furniture or something.
Yeah.
But the VTM 60, the way I normally use it is on the little mod switches. I usually turn the gain 1 on to get like more overdrive. Sometimes I bump the mid switch just to cut through a mix more, and sometimes I turn the compressor on because like if you're doing tremolo picking, it
Yeah.
makes the dynamics like super even.
Hmm.
But anyway, so the reason I'm showing you that is like for the Butcher, I modded it to the same thing that gain one switch does on the VTM. It's just like God, a resistor and capacitor different or something.
Huh.
So it's basically like a gain one switch, but into the Butcher. So it's a little higher gain than stock, but not like crazy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's running down here to this. They're behind the guitars. There's a 212. It's not a PV cab. I just threw a PV logo on it.
Oh, okay.
It's like an old 80s Galian Kruger cab, guitar cab that I've never seen other than this. I bought it unloaded. I know it's not showing very good. I bought it unloaded and threw a couple good speakers in it. So that's what the Butcher's going down into. Do you know what this is?
No, not really.
It's an Mpeg Ss70. They also make, I think it's a SS140 or a SS100. It's the precursor, if I'm not mistaken, to the VH140C.
Oh, okay.
There's no chorus in it, but it's 70 watts.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not loud enough, but it's got that preamp out jack on the back, and like you slave it over into like, 120 watt or whatever up to the Butcher or something. So you have a tube power section, and it's got that sick ass distortion channel that the VH140 has, that the death metal guys love.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So have you ever seen like the SNK pedals VHD?
Yeah.
That is the VH140C circuit, if I'm not mistaken, just as a distortion pedal. Well, I've thought about building a pedal like that for myself, but I've got it right here. You know what I'm saying? And this thing's lightweight. This was a combo, okay? But it smelled like a smoker's Buick when I got it. So I pulled the chassis and like I'm a machinist also, so I like machined these little standoffs.
Okay.
Sorry, I machined those. You can kind of see the tap I did, and I made these little feet. There's Velcro on it. So I converted it into a head myself. I put an aluminum top on it, and these handles. And I just made it like a super lightweight little solid state head. So I can carry that thing around.
That is awesome.
And then, yeah, dude, it's wicked. And then like I got this just for headphone, and it's the Micro Dark. Yeah. But it gets really high gain, like plenty for metal. The only weird thing is the tone control on it. It's like super mid-rangey, but it does a mid scoop that's really good for like our kind of metal if you turn it basically all the way to the right. But that's a good little practice amp, man. It's fine.
Nice.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite amps.
I've seen those. Those are cool.
It is super cool, and you can get them like sometimes on Reverb for like $400, and it is a 120 watt tube amp, and it's got the JCM 800 sound, but circuit wise, it is not the same whatsoever.
Didn't they make a rack version of that too?
There is a Rockmaster rack preamp, but it is not at all the same design as this. It is not the same thing at all. This is like from 1982, 83, something like that. Yeah. Early 80s. And that rack preamp came out somewhere like either late 80s or early 90s. And it was, I believe the rack preamp was designed by that dude, James Brown, that did the 5150 and all the cool high gain PV stuff. Yeah. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the case. He
designed like 6-7 different amps for him at that time, so I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, and now he does the amp tweaker pedals.
You know what?
Have you ever seen like the Type Metal?
Yeah,
and Type Metal Junior and all that? That's James Brown.
I think he sold that, and
he may have.
And I think he's with EVH again.
Okay, yeah, they're probably getting a better deal. I mean, but making pedals is probably not as prolific of a job as making amps.
Yeah.
But again, that's on worshiper cabs. These are the 112 cabs I had made just for this. That's a cream back selection in there, and then that newer like red back selection down there, the 150 watt Joker.
Oh, I haven't tried those.
They're good.
What's it sound like?
It's I mean, it handles all the low end. You can give it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'd say.
I don't have a super prolific experience with tons of different speakers, so I can't really personally give you a comparison. I just know that I like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Here's my other bad boy. That's the Signature 5150. I like removing the wood panel. I think it looks more heavy metal like that with
Yeah.
the metal grate. And, you know, it gives better airflow to the tubes, so maybe they last a little longer, possibly. I mean,
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe. And then that's one of those 90s PV cabs. Again, the metal grate. It looks super mean. And it came with those kind of like, in my opinion, crappy Sheffields.
Wow, that looks so much like a cab I have sitting right behind me.
But these two, I think these are sleeper cabs to a degree. They're made in USA. They're like the 7 or 9 ply birch. You just got to put better speakers in it. So I put like the G12K 85s,
Okay.
you know, vintage 80s, and G12H 100s X better.
Okay.
So it slays now with the 5150.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, and then that's the VTM,
Awesome.
as you saw earlier. Yeah. And this is my workhorse. This is the one I turn on the most.
Really.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And what's funny about this, have you ever had one or seen one?
A buddy of mine had one forever ago.
The transformers are tiny.
Really?
Yes, they don't look like they should be in this amplifier. They look like they should be on that little orange or something. They're
Oh,
so
wow.
small, but they put off like 520 volts or something. I mean, it's like way up there,
Damn.
and it sounds great. I mean, I love it. I love that amp.
I was kind of nerding out on that Marshall of yours, the 2204, more than anything. And I used to
For sure.
have one of the JCM 2000s, and I had a 50-watt version, and I fucking love that thing.
Which one? 2000?
Yeah, the 50-watt version.
I'm good with the 50 watts. I don't need the 100. I mean, I don't need headroom for one thing, and I think it's only a matter of a few decibels louder between 50 and 100. It's not like twice as loud.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's on a curve.
I just liked whenever it was cranked up, how much like just that extra little push you could get from the power tubes. It's a killer board.
Yeah, so these are my demo boards. I build all this stuff.
Someone's asking about the Master Sword pedal.
Okay, I'll go back to that. The only one on this board that is not my personal like pedal or design is this one. This is a Fortin Zool clone.
Oh.
For my noise gate for the VTM. Or sometimes I'll put it over on that, because as you know, if you put a noise gate in the loop of that, it's awesome. It kills all that super high gain hiss coming off the preamp.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I bought that PCB from like one of those DIY sites. I can't even think of it right now. Guitar PCB or something.
Okay.
Anyway, but all these other boards I design the boards. I do every aspect of this except for the artwork. I commission artists. Sorry for the shaky camera.
You're fine.
This is cool in that my tattoo artist sister did that artwork for me.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and it's called the Crystal Ball. She's holding a jewel bezel, and the LED pulses in time with the phase rate.
And that,
so it like glows.
What is that pedal?
It's a phaser.
Okay. Oh, that's
Crystal
cool.
Ball. It's sold out right now. They are extremely difficult to make. They are like so time consuming. I only make 10 a year because they take, I mean, I can't even tell you, Ryan. They take so damn long to build.
That's really
okay,
cool,
let's get over to the Master Sword. That's a Barbarian pedal. They all have the same color scheme, like black and white and gold. And this artist who does a lot of art for heavy metal bands, Unexpected Spectre, he's the artist on all the Barbarian stuff.
That's awesome.
That's a real Sabbathy looking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to make something for the Doom guys. You know what I mean? I mean, Doom's, it's valid. I personally drink coffee, and so I can't play that slow anymore. So I've been playing thrash for a couple of years, you know.
Right.
I think like whatever drug of choice you're on is kind of the music you're into. So for me, that's caffeine.
I meant to ask you about the Rigs of Doom pedal. I just saw that either this morning or yesterday. I didn't even know about that collab.
Yeah. So that is basically how I have gotten any notoriety whatsoever, is doing collaborations with people like yourself. You know, people that have more visibility than me already. I would go over the top, but this thing's casting a shadow from the light.
Oh, you're good.
You know who did the artwork for that? I didn't know this when I got it, but it's her name is AK Mosir on Instagram. I think it's like Matt Pike's girlfriend or something. She's a tattoo artist in Portland.
Oh, wow.
So little reference there for you. So I love that artwork, man. It's got the little reapers with the sides, and they're like carrying the little amps up to the, you know, it's got a power tube there.
Hell yeah.
So,
maybe we'll have to collab on a pedal sometime.
That'd be cool. I will just say though, as far as death metal pedals, I mean, what's the main one, right? You tell me.
Definitely definitely some kind of overdrive.
Oh, really? I was gonna say HM2.
No.
You don't think so? Just OD?
I'd say more an OD than, I don't know. I guess that's kind of a divisive thing. Personally,
yeah.
It'd be an overdrive, and I think there's a
me
lot of
too.
guys.
Me too for thrash. But if you're going into a clean channel and you want an alternate distortion tone, that's where something like this comes into play. But the HM2, of course, I use like an overdrive. I mean, I don't go into a clean channel with that and crank the distortion. It doesn't get like saturated enough. You know what I mean? Everybody goes into a slightly crunchy channel.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, this is like my ultra high gain razor sharp pedal if you're just going into a clean channel. But this thing, I put this out last year. This is one of my favorites. It's missing knobs. I had to rob the knobs for like a different build, so it doesn't look right now. But this is basically my version of like a tube screamer into a JCM 800 preamp.
Okay.
So it's like a standalone like thrash metal monster. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So
do you try to run that into the front end of something or through a loop? Or
yes. In the front end.
Okay.
Yep. I've got to change the design a little bit to get a little more output. People that bought them last year, what I told them was once I come out with the new version that has like the full graphics and stuff, if they want to, they can trade in their original pedal for the new one.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah, so I try to like hook people up like that. Sometimes when I see somebody selling a one of my pedals on Reverb or something, and they had just gotten it, I'm like, dude, do you want to trade it in for something else? Like, I want you to get something that you're stoked on, you know? And sometimes they're like, oh, I just need the money. I bought too much stuff. But yeah, I've traded out stuff I just sold to people just to hook them up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You and my Michael Klein, who's a buddy of mine, you guys are probably the only two I know of that are cool like that. That if somebody's not happy with something, that you guys want to try to make it right and try to make sure they're stoked on it.
I do, man. Like the making money thing is secondary for me because this is a supplementary thing for me that I just enjoy doing. Really, I mean, my philosophy is that I'm just building stuff that I want myself, and if other people want to buy it too, I'll make it for you. You know?
Right.
But that's how I design it anyway. But yeah, I'm not about that. Screw you. I got your money, and you just buy something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want you to be stoked, man. I want you to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, if you could put out the ultimate death metal pedal, I can almost guarantee you, if you just did something like an OD808, and if you could work, if you had a lot of gain on tap, I mean, like, something like a slightly cranked 800, just a little bit of crunch,
Yeah.
but with enough gain on tap to where you can make it sound like, I don't know, like a Friedman or something.
Okay.
That'd sell pretty. I think that'd sell a lot.
I
Maybe.
mean, I, I will just be totally honest with you. Like, as far as the death metal realm,
Mhm.
I personally leave that in the hands of like Joe. Like, if I was a death metal dude and I wanted something, I would probably think about getting some of his stuff. But as far as what you just talked about, um, I like this. I don't know if this is what you mean, but this is a Maxon Od9 Pro Plus, and
Yeah.
it has a switch inside to run it at 18 volts, so
Mhm.
it has more output. And then it's got like this little toggle is like just normal EQ, or it's got that tube screamer mid thing, so you can run it almost just like a normal overdrive, and it doesn't have that mid range hump. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or you can make it do that too. I mean, I like it. That's what I run
Oh
it
yeah.
into the butcher. I run that into the butcher, man. That thing's sick. I like having some Maxon and Boss stuff around. I mean, I don't always just play my own stuff. I'm not like, I don't have that kind of like, hyperinflated ego where I'm just like, my stuff is the best and other stuff is trash.
Right.
I don't, no, that's not my style, man.
Oh, well, we get into
Uh,
this stuff because we love all of it.
yes. I was, speaking of like some HM2 type stuff, the reason I said that is just because to me it's like the cliche thing people think of when they think of a death metal pedal. I didn't mean like the top selling or top used death metal pedal. You
Right.
know what I mean? In my opinion, I'm with you. You need an overdrive to get your amp more hammer, and then like if you want a sick lead tone, you can use like maybe one modulation, right? Like a chorus or a phaser,
Yeah.
and then some delay and reverb. I mean, I'm minimalist. Like I have those boards with like 20 pedals, but if I was going to play a show, I would probably have overdrive, delay, and reverb and chorus.
Right.
Maybe. The less gear you have on stage, the less chance for problems. You know that.
Oh yeah. I uh I used to play in a thrash band too, and it I think my board pretty much always consisted of an OD, like just a regular TS9, a Boss NS2, and a Boss TU3.
Oh, noise gate. You're right. Noise gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the other thing after the NS2?
TU3, just a Boss tuner.
Tuner. Yeah. Oh, well, God, that's the first pedal people should get. I was joking that, like, um, the first pedal you should get is a tuner, but it's
Yeah.
inevitably going to be like the 10th pedal you get. And my other bit of advice for people getting into the pedal thing is get a good power supply. You're buying
Yeah.
150 and 200 and $250 pedals, but you want to use a down $20 one spot that has crazy background hiss and all. It's like if you're going to get a $150 pedal or like four or more of them, get a $150 power supply. It's isolated outputs. It's like the cleanest power you can. It's going to sound the best. You know what I mean? It makes a difference.
What do you think of the True Tone CS12?
The True Tone. Which one is that?
Well, they make the one spot.
Oh, you mean like the expanded version of it?
Like, yeah, their brick version or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't used that, but I would just say if it is truly isolated outputs, it's probably okay. But you get what you pay for, and you pay for what you get. So if you try to cheap out, you're gonna pay the price eventually. Like
I think
you
that
could
was
buy
like a
one
hundred something.
100.
Yeah, like 100, maybe a little more.
I mean, I don't want to put like a definite price on what it should be, but I would think a good like 8 output power supply is going to be at least 100.
Right.
I mean, unless you're getting into mass-produced Chinese like stuff, they might get that price down. But to use the right transformers and do all that, it costs something. You know what I mean? And it's a lifetime purchase, just like your pedals and stuff.
Oh,
You know, you could buy. You know, you don't want your stuff to crap out on you. You want it to sound as good as possible. So, you know,
sure.
get you something good.
All right.
I was also going to show you these real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
These are kind of cool. And by the way, that BC Rich, that bitch, I do have that listed for sale. If somebody's interested in that, message me and I'll give you a better price on it. I put it on Reverb for like way too much just to see if somebody would buy it. But I'll sell it for a fair price.
Send me.
I just bought too many guitars. I bought too many.
Send me a picture or two of it, and I'll post it on the page later.
Cool. Yep. I'd sell it for what I got it for. You know what I mean? But yeah, these are a couple kind of death metal-y pedals. Have you ever seen one of these? This is a Joe Anastasio pedal. The LHP, the original.
Yeah, I would say that's the OG right there.
He claims there's only 17 of these left in existence because he said he traded for and bought up and destroyed all the other ones because he didn't want them out there. That's the story. I was just like,
if it was anyone other than Joe.
I know, but I gotta. I'm like, I believe you. I've seen him destroy stuff while we were working together. Like something wouldn't work, you know what I mean? Like we just finished assembly on something and it's like couldn't work. He like solders a few things and it still doesn't work. And he got so mad he like ripped all the guts out and threw it on the floor. And I was like, like that was like 8 hours of work, you know what I mean? Yeah. But hey, he's a trip, bro. This is you know what this is?
Oh, yeah.
That's
damn.
Okay. My homie Joe may not attest to this, but I was there and this was the first one. I drilled it and wired it myself. So I came up with the drill template for these. Like I said, I'm a machinist, so I kind of chose where all that stuff would go to not, you know, he had it kind of where he wanted it, but I wanted it to be super clean with artwork and not like get into dragging heads and block the cool artwork and all that. So I laid out the template and drilled like the first 25 cases or something. I drilled all those. So if you got one of these and all the knobs are super straight, I probably drilled this.
Is that is that any different from the regular deluxe, or is it just a deluxe with the cool graphic?
It is in from what I remember, it has center frequency. You can change the center frequency of the low, mid, and high. In addition, I think the deluxe is like all those and those two. And now he added the clean blend to all of them too. But I think this is the normal deluxe. And then like you can change the center frequency of the EQ with those.
Okay.
And you can get some weirdness out of it. Now I try to set it as kind of like orthodox as possible for that chainsaw.
Okay.
But it's just something I got sitting around here really.
Because I got his 8-ball EQ as well, and I was kind of curious how similar it might be.
Does it have the center frequency knobs on that? Or something like that? Because that might be it.
Yeah.
The 8-ball came out way after. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
But yeah, there's like a little resistor on each leg of that that gyrator EQ, and basically I think you change that resistor to a pot so you can sweep the frequency. You know, you just make it a bearable resistor with a potentiometer. So I think that's probably the idea behind that, but I could be wrong. I'm not the HM2 god. You know. Let's see. I have some notes here. Oh, did you watch? I talked about that channel, Ruthless Metal on YouTube.
I subscribed to it while we were on here.
Oh, you did? I sent you that video of Death Metal 100 Rules to Live By. It was like a little comedy thing, like a little 2 or 3 minute. Did you watch that? It's just like 100 rules real quick, just like one after another of like how to be a legit death metal person. It's hilarious. You got to watch that.
I might have been like half asleep when you sent it or something, and then forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Well, I wrote down like a few of my favorite ones. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, if y'all are into death metal, look up 100 Rules to Live By Death Metal on YouTube, and that video, it's a trip. I like it.
Real quick,
Here's a few of those. No, go
somebody's
ahead.
asking. It's Joe Anastasio, and he
Yeah,
builds.
Anastasia.
He builds for. Well, he is Lone Wolf Audio.
Yeah, him and his wife.
Yeah, it's
And
just
sometimes
him.
he has a little helper dude like help him out. But yeah, you're right. Lone Wolf Audio.
Yeah,
And he's in the Austin area still. He hates Texas. He just, oh my God, he trashes Texas so much.
yeah. I saw he
Every
was.
year he's like, I'm moving back to Jersey,
That's all he was talking about
but
wanting
he
to move
never does.
back.
Yeah, he's gonna be here forever, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But here's a few of those 100 rules. I just wrote down a handful of them if
yeah,
you want to
yeah.
hear them real quick.
Let's hear him.
Number one, Cookie Monster is one of your main influences.
Okay.
Two, wear mom jeans or camouflage cargo shorts.
Okay.
Old English is your favorite font.
Huh.
Wear bullet belts. Yeah, wear bullet belts.
All right.
Think that thrash metal is too soft, but dig Slayer. Worship the HM2 pedal. We talked about that.
Yeah.
If anyone can understand what you're singing, you're doing it wrong. Every concert you visit is a sausage fest. And dislike everything mainstream. There's some better ones, but you got to hear the dude's voice, man. The dude, like, I swear, he sounds like, I don't even know, Russian or Bulgarian or Greek. I'm probably offending so many people right now, not knowing. But
the sausage fest thing is too accurate.
oh my God, yeah. So I was gonna say, dude, like you're like 29, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the older you get, and you have kids, the older you get, and this might already be a phenomenon for you, you will start looking at people as though they are just like grown up 5-year-olds a lot. So like you'll see like a band on stage, and like I said, they're all like looking like, I am this hard ass masculine dude, and you're like, it's a little kid, man. He's like this little kid. Yeah, it's funny. Like when that starts happening, you'll see what I mean 10 years from now. It's kind of like everybody's just like when you're a little kid, you think adults like know something you don't, and then
Yeah.
when you get old, you're like, my little kid's smarter than I am in a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
They pick up on stuff quicker or learn quicker than I can anymore. So I don't know.
They do. They really do. It's kind of a trip. Some of the people in like fairly big touring bands that I've interviewed on this series are younger than me, and it's like kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Yes.
like really drove home that I missed that window.
Nah, I don't know, man. I want to believe that in a lot of ways it's never too late. You know, like Willie Nelson didn't get super famous till he was like way older. I mean, he was always in the scene and
Yeah.
songwriter, but like I think until like once he hit like 50 or something, then he was like everybody. You know, I could be wrong on that. I wouldn't allowed to.
Another prime example was Morgan Freeman didn't start acting till he was 50.
That exactly. So,
So
you know, some of us are like slow burning candles, Ryan, and our lives go. And some of us are like matches that just burn up in an instant. And others, you think you're a candle, but you turn into a damn stick of dynamite and you explode. It happens that way. You never know. We're all
awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What else was I gonna say? Did you have any like legit questions for me? I've just been like jabbering over you the whole time. I appreciate it.
No, man, you're good. I don't really think of these as like, I don't know, the typical
Interviews.
Yeah, interviews. These are just kind of hangouts. You know what I mean? Like I've watched some other people doing something similar, like Rusty Cooley by chance?
Oh my God.
The shred
I
guy.
know the name for sure. Who is it?
He's just a big big shredder guy.
Okay. I've seen his name. I just can't think of like what band he might be in or something.
He's had a couple bands. Honestly, his name is bigger than what bands he's been in. It's one of
Okay,
those
yeah, one of those guys.
situations.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like Ingve.
yeah, yeah. But Rusty, he started with this other guy who's like a guitar teacher. They started a kind of a live, podcasty kind of thing called
Mm-hmm.
Guitar Autopsy, and they just have different other different shredders on here or on their show, and I think they've had like Mark Tremonti and Michelangelo Badio, uh, Carl Sanders from Nile, and they just kind of shoot the shit and hang out and nerd out about guitar and playing, and then they'll just talk about shit that has absolutely nothing to do with music.
Okay, so we're good.
Yeah,
The Ryan Vickers experience.
yeah. So I don't know. I
What
kind of like just the casual hanging out kind of thing.
was your first foray into listening to death metal? What was the first thing you heard? I didn't tell you that story yet, so I want to hear yours.
Uh, Somebody was texting me. Say that again.
What was your first like death metal thing you heard or got into?
Death metal.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of getting fuzzy a little bit here, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it was Cannibal Corpse.
Okay.
Probably just off of name recognition. Like everyone kind of hears about Cannibal Corpse. If you're
Of course. Yeah.
like
Slayer,
dipping your toes
Slayer.
into the metal pool, you'll hear somebody inevitably mention them.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of like the heavier stuff that I was kind of getting exposed to was a lot of like the metalcore kind of stuff, like old Trivium before they turned into Nickelback, and like
What's wrong with that?
yeah, stuff like that, and maybe like Kill Switch Engage, and then
Yeah.
and then like one cool thing about the Trivium dudes is that they were always rocking like Emperor and Obituary T-shirts and stuff like that.
So you see it and then check that out.
Yeah, I was one of those
Right.
guys. Every hint of new music that I got, I instantly had to go check it out. And I remember when MySpace was a thing, some bands would have other bands in like their top 8 or whatever. So I would go down a rabbit hole on MySpace checking out, I'd start off on Devil Driver, and by the end of the day, I was on Mirskog or some like crazy
Gotcha.
black and death metal band.
Matter of fact, that's what I'm doing with the Ruthless Metal guy, because he has started putting out these videos. I really like this series. It's top 10 thrash metal albums and it starts in like 83. So he's all the way up to 1990 right now.
Hell yeah.
And he puts them out like every few days. And so he does his top 10. And the cool thing about it, Ryan, is that it's not the cliche top albums of that year. He has his personal like style that he likes.
Yeah.
And I relate to some of it because he seems to like the like some of the stuff with falsetto vocals and like the singy kind of stuff, which I actually like a lot of that stuff. Dude. I told you I was gonna embarrass myself. Like I like I heard if you know who this is, you're probably just gonna shake your damn head. Like Agent Steel, the first album. I don't care about the vocals. It's the guitar riffs and shit, dude.
Yeah.
They're like doing all the triple picking, like all the madness, and it's so good if you can somehow enjoy the vocals. But anyway, this guy's list will have some of that stuff, and then at the end, he will say this was the user voted list, and that'll have all the cliche like Metallica, Megadeth, Sepultura. Not that he doesn't have Sepultura in some of his too, but and then he'll show like his top 40, like the ones that fell outside his top 10. So every year you have this list of 40 albums to check out, and they're all good in one way or another. So I have been doing a deep dive for like weeks just from that guy's videos, which is similar to you saying you saw your bands you liked with the t-shirts, so you checked it out, or you got into the MySpace rabbit hole. same philosophy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So check that out if y'all get a chance.
I
Listen to that.
know I will.
The 1988 and 89 are really good. And dude, the albums, there are two albums I had not heard of. And anybody that listens to this, I told you I'm not encyclopedia. I'm from a small ass East Texas town. So you gotta forgive me on like not having heard this back then when I was a little kid, because we just didn't have the access. I mean, we just didn't. So that's why I'm kind of like trying to rediscover it all right now. But there's an album by Atrophy, and it's got some jester on the cover or something. It's called Socialized Hate. That album is badass. And then it's fast, and the vocals are a little harsher. You know, it's not singy. And then there's a band called Evil Dead. It's one word, Evil Dead.
I love Evil Dead.
Track. Yeah, so that like I guess their first album. It's got I don't remember if it's Ed Repka art on it, but it's like this dude on the beach, and he looks all some municipal waste looking dude. And they sound a lot like Slayer or something.
Yeah.
They're from LA, and they play fast and aggressive, and that is a cool album. And that's got more of the subject matter I like. Like I'm just not huge on like the murder, torture, gore stuff. I get it. I don't have an issue with people that like that. It's just I'm more like resonate with like, you know, anti-government, anti-corruption, anti-warfare, like pointing out the atrocities of humanity and all that. I'm cool with all that. That's heavy enough for me. Like once it gets like kind of like evil, I'm kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? But I can appreciate it too. Like I just like people that can shred their instruments, dude. So I try to stay open-minded. And if you have a suggestion, like do this definitely band, like I'll tell you one that I heard like in the 2000s that would not typically be in my ballpark is Hate Eternal, I Monarch, that album. And that's like Eric Rutan. Is that how you say his name, Rutan?
Yeah.
Eric Rutan. I think he's a New Jersey guy. All the cool dudes are from Jersey, or Florida, I guess, or Sweden, and like one band from Buffalo or something like that. But that album, I listened to it before I jumped on here again, just as a refresher.
Yeah.
That is as heavy as, I mean, the sound of that. It's like Derek Roddy on drums, who's like an insane drummer. He was on a Nile album too, I think, Derek Roddy.
Yeah.
And strangely, he was in Today Is the Day for a minute. I saw that on a album.
Really?
You know Today Is the Day?
Yeah.
Steve Austin, he's the front man. I like them a lot. They're like a noise band, kind of noise metal, I guess you could say. I don't know genres for anything, man, so my apology. But Derek Roddy was on Today's Day album. But anyway, the Hate Eternal album is just like, oh my God. And it's got like the thing I like about it is you can hear what's going on with the guitars. Like it's just like pounding you with bass and everything, like, because it's just double kick the whole time. And it's real low end heavy, but you can make out the guitar is perfect, like the rhythm. And then the solos are super juicy, man. They're just like tasty.
Sure.
Some of them are slow and got that like vibrato like that. Wow. It's like, oh my God, it's so good. The lyrics are a little evil, but I can't understand English lyrics anyway. Like even on like a Whitney Houston song or something, I cannot understand what the hell people sing in English. I think like my ancient tribe I'm from, like in previous lives, is like Germanic or something. So I cannot make out English lyrics. And it's a bit of a blessing. But I always have to look up lyrics, even to like Maiden songs or something. I gotta look up the lyrics. I don't understand.
Man, every Eric Rutan record that he's produced that I've heard always just sounds so fucking good.
How many Morbid albums was he on?
Only like one or two.
I know it was like that one in the mid-90s, like 95 or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to misspeak because I said the wrong one and someone corrected me before.
I mean, it's definitely not Altars of Madness. It's the 80s.
No,
it's from like 95 or something.
By the
Is
time
it called something Oblivion or something?
Huh?
Did they have an album with the word oblivion in it. I could be tripping.
Hang on. Where the fuck?
You are our fact checker, sir.
Yeah.
What's the 95 album?
Oh, come on.
But anyway, I listened to like your last 3 interviews with Kyle. Was it Kyle from Undeath? What's his name?
Kyle Beam from Undeath.
Yes. So I listened to Kyle. I listened to Zach, who I'm a bit. I've talked to Zach now on messages from Outer Heaven and the Spin from Beast's interview. I really enjoyed those, man. That was good stuff. Entertaining.
Hell yeah.
For me.
Glad you liked them, man.
I did. And so like I said, I try to stay open-minded and listen to when people point out a reference. And so I'm like, I think you asked Zach what some of his favorite solos were.
Okay. Yeah, I did.
Like his top 3 or 4 solos or something. And so I listened to all those. And funny enough, he point out like Steve Lukather and Toto or something.
Yeah.
I love that, man, because you think of death metal dudes, it's like, I only like the most extreme. So and he's like, dude, Toto, man, you gotta check out the Lukather. It's like, that's cool. But one of those he pointed out was Through Eyes of Glass by Forbidden.
Oh, yeah.
It's from like 88 or 89 again. And so, but their singer, this dude Russ, he was like this huge swole ass dude, man. But he does kind of like the falsetto or high pitched singy vocals. And like I said, I like that stuff. It doesn't bother me. But that is a ripping solo. I
love King Diamond, so I won't judge.
Andy LaRoque, one of my favorite solos is Trapped in a Corner on Death, on Individual Thought Patterns. Oh, Andy LaRoque played that solo. Have you ever heard them talk about that?
Yeah.
You saw that like interview with Death in the studio or whatever?
Well, there's a documentary on Prime, on Amazon Prime.
That's it. And they said they flew Andy in.
Yeah.
And he walked into the studio and they said, here, do it. He listened to it or whatever. And like, okay, let me hear it again. And then he's like, okay, warm up a minute. And then they're like, okay, hit record. And he shredded that solo. And I think he was like, I can maybe do it better than that. Or they said, no, it's fine. And he said, okay, well, let me double it. And he played the same thing note for note for the double, just like 2 takes, bam, bam. And they were all like sitting back there like, oh my God, this dude is so legit. You know what I mean? And that's one of my favorite solos. Like, it's so tasty.
Andy is a god among men. Like,
serious, man. Why? What is it about dudes in Scandinavia like having all these skills?
I don't know, man.
It's got to be like one of those, what they call those vortex points on Earth, kind of like where the Great Pyramids are. There's got to be one of those in Scandinavia that's just putting off like the shred frequencies.
Gotta be. There's an awful lot of good shredders out of Sweden specifically. Hey, to answer the question earlier, by the way, Eric Rutan, he played guitar on Domination and Gateways to Annihilation.
Okay, I was thinking of Gateways.
Okay. Yeah. I forgot that he was on that one. I think I mistakenly said Covenant one time, which he wasn't on that.
Uh-oh. And you got the backlash?
I don't know. Somebody just like somebody was cool and corrected me or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much everyone on this page is pretty cool, and no one gets.
That's what I'm saying. All these death metal softies at heart, they're all cool with their rough exterior.
Some of them talk some shit in personal messages, but I just kind of let them vent.
Oh my God, dude! People talk shit to me for not having demos of the Gremlin stuff.
Really?
Yeah, somebody messaged me through my web shop the other day, like the contact form or whatever. Somebody's like, you just think people are gonna buy your stuff without demos? I'm like, dude, man. I responded to him because I'm like kind of big on customer service or whatever. That's just kind of how I am. And I was like, look, I don't have a 4K camera and I don't want to do these little cell phone quality crap and put them on YouTube yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to look that way. So, I mean, I've got these little boo-sha-sha 1 minute clips on Instagram, and I'm trying to get better at it, man. But like that money that I probably should get a good MacBook and camera with, I buy these guitars, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one
Yeah.
day I'll get a. I don't know if anybody listening can do a legit demo. Let me know. Maybe. I don't know. I did that one time and sent it to somebody, and it took them like 4 months to do it. And of course, they don't play the way I play. I'm not trying to be like a control freak about it, but I'm just like, you know, not really using it right. Not how I would. So I kind of want to do it myself. I do everything else myself. I ought to just make damn demos, but that's what people bash me for.
Hell, even if you just make a
Mainly.
little MP3 or like little WAV files to put on your web page or something.
I know. I know, but the other thing is, dude, like to be honest, like my order queue is so steady. Um, like if I made demos and just started selling a whole bunch more units, I wouldn't even be able to keep up with it. Like people are buying the stuff as is.
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't know. Like I said, I'm not like a huge businessman, so I don't really want to like expand and have to hire employees and get into paying all those taxes and all. I like to stay under the radar. You know, if you support me, it's like supporting an underground metal band. You know what I mean? Like I'm like your type of person. I'm a heavy metal dude from back in the day. Like I try to just keep it real for the homies or whatever, and like the right people seem to find me and get this stuff, and it's steady. And so like I just don't have the time to make like these exquisite demos yet. I want to, but you know, it's a matter of time.
I feel you. I'm wanting to kind of up my production game for all this, and maybe eventually do some demo stuff on YouTube, and
Yeah,
expand into that whole side of it, not just do the Instagram posts or whatever. But
yeah, and I mean, you got to have some video editing skills. That's another learning curve I have to go through. And I'm like, damn, I just taught myself enough Photoshop to do these like graphic layouts and stuff, and now I got to learn video editing. And oh my God, you know, because you have to have like a cool intro with good sound quality. So you know, it's a big old mess as far as I hate computers. I decided a long time ago, Ryan, that I was going to stay away from like programming and computer jobs and all that. So I told you earlier, I'm not good with the robots. That's what I call these things. They're them devilly bots, them tippy
right.
top machines. Yeah, man.
Well, hell yeah. Paul, I think we're gonna try to wrap it up here, but
Let's do it.
before we bring it to a close, I always end these the same way.
The
I know
Mount
you're not. I
Crushmore.
know you're not like a huge death metal guy, so I'll change it up a little bit for you. Give me your
Okay.
don't give me the big four. I want your
Right.
big four for thrash.
Okay, Thresh. All right. And I would just preface and say this is not who I necessarily think are the greatest four thrash bands of all time, but these are probably the ones I'm giving the most run lately. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, I wrote them down. NWA, Public Enemy, Cypress Hill, and Wu-Tang Clan. Wait, no. No, that's wrong. No, let's go.
All good.
Okay. That's the thrash metals, right?
Yeah.
No, let's go. Number one, Whiplash.
Okay.
The first album. It looks like a high school art. The cool kid in high school art class made the album cover. It's like this robot hand crushing a dude's head or something, and all this cheesy lightning around it. Whiplash, Power and Pain.
Huh.
It's from like 85 or 86. That album is amazing.
I'll have to
And
check
the
that one
second
out.
album, dude, it is so. They're a three-piece band. Quick story on those guys. Another quick story. It's three dudes named Tony from New Jersey. Tony, and Tony from Jersey. So, Tony Pataro, Tony Scaglione, and Tony Bono. And it rips, dude. That drummer, Tony Scaglione, I think that's his name. He did a short stint with Slayer. Dave Lombardo had to bounce for a minute in like '88 or '89, and that drummer from Whiplash played for Slayer for a minute. So he's legit. That dude can play. But anyway, so Whiplash, Power and Pain, and the first track off the next album is called Walk the Plank. Badass tune. I'll go with that Evil Dead album, Annihilation of Civilization, or is that what it's called?
I think so.
I'll go with that Atrophy album,
Okay.
Socialized Hate.
Okay.
And oh god, sorry, I gotta verify this. I can't get this wrong. There are wrong answers. Thrash metal. I'm looking on my YouTube. Oh, I will go with that Violence album, Eternal Nightmare.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's they sound a lot like a heavier Nuclear Assault. But Violence is Bay Area, Nuclear Assault is like New York or something.
Dude, I love Violence. I kind of wish Phil Demmel and Rob Flynn would have stayed in Violence instead of Machine Head.
No doubt. Yeah, you know how that went, though. In the 90s, thrash died away or whatever. A whole lot. So I think maybe the Metallica Black Album killed a bunch of people's drive. I don't know what happened. But, and then, what's it called? Honorable mention. I'll go with Sepultura, Beneath the Remains.
Nice.
We rocked Chaos AD all the time in the 90s. Like, me and my friends Dustin and Brad rode around in his crappy Nissan, like blasting that. And the Primus album. I told you Primus was coming back around. Pork Soda. We listened to the hell out of it. Just, the weird stuff that you could get in East Texas. Yeah. But that's what I'd go with, those four.
Okay. Admittedly, I'm a little sad I didn't hear any Rigor Mortis or Demolition Hammer, but that's all right. Each their own.
Yeah, dude. Zach told me about the Demolition Hammer, and I started listening to it. I just haven't got all the way through that first album. So
good.
It's on my list. I have like this thrash to check out playlist, and it's there.
Those are more up my alley, where it's like
a little deathy.
Yeah, like they're like everyone says Slayer is like what sits there. They're like the gateway between thrash and death. Like they sit right there on the line. So if they're on the line, then Rigor Mortis and Demolition are like hanging off on the death metal side.
For sure. Yeah, I'm with that.
But well, hell yeah, man! I appreciate you coming on here. This is fun. I'll have to have you on here again soon. I feel like we could probably get another hour out of this if we.
Dude, I have so many more stories I didn't get to, but I do appreciate you being so accommodating and letting me jabber. I told you I was going to slam some coffee before I jumped on. I know I was talking over you the whole time, so that was cool of you.
No, dude, you're good. Somebody asked real quick, favorite Gremlin across both Gremlin films.
Oh, well, I mean, doesn't it have to be, what's his name?
Stripe?
Yes. I mean, doesn't it have to be?
Pretty much.
Did he have
other
a
than Gizmo and Stripe, those are the only ones in both of them, right?
Didn't he have the mohawk?
Yeah, that was Stripe.
Okay, I mean, I think you kind of have to go with that, dude.
Unless they're just asking between the two movies, which one's our favorite.
The first one, right? I mean, I guess. The second one's a little more, like, weird and has all the weird ones where, like, they dress up a lot more and have the wigs and all that stuff on, right?
And, like, some of them mutate. I don't know. I guess the Flasher Gremlin. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
the one with
Forgot
the
about that.
coat.
Okay, but I did not name it after those movies or the car. The reason it's called Gremlin, I will leave you with this. This is the last story of the night. Is that I was playing. We had this cute little white. Do you know what a Bashan is? The dog. It's like a white poodle looking dog, like kind of like a Maltese looking little fluffy white dog, cute.
I think so.
We had this dog, Teddy. He passed away this year, sadly. He was old. He had a good life, but when he was younger, they do this thing that's kind of heavy metal. It's called the Bashan Blitz, like Blitzkrieg, and they just like they're little circus dogs or whatever. So they run these patterns. They just like get super hype out of nowhere, and they'll just run patterns all over the house, the same pattern over and over until they fatigue, and then they just flop over. Well, one day, yeah, it's the Bashan Blitz. So one day I'm playing like some thrash metal riffs in the bedroom, and Teddy started blitzing, and I was laughing so hard because it was like he was moshing.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you little death metal gremlin. I was gonna name the company Death Metal Gremlin, but I was like, well, everybody's gonna think it's only for death metal, and it's really for all heavy metal. So I just called it Gremlin after my little homie Teddy.
Nice.
So this cute little white dog is the emphasis for like this, all of this stuff.
That's all.
Yeah, next time we'll talk about monster trucks too. We gotta leave that.
There we go. That's our first talking point.
Yeah, anytime. Oh, maybe it's the 1 year anniversary, but whenever you want, I'll drink some coffee and talk your ear off.
Absolutely. I'm sure I'm going to run out of gas here before too long, and I'll start hitting everybody back up. Hey, you want to come back on again?
Yeah, and I'll have more cool stuff to show off. I didn't even show you everything. I hope you get. I'm not gonna say who, but I hope you get the person that was supposed to be today.
Yeah,
I hope he comes through for you. It's hard to say.
They never confirmed for sure, so I'm not holding it against them. I'm sure they just got busy or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's like, dude, that'll be a good one. And I'm kind of glad you didn't, in that I didn't want to have to follow him up. Like, here's this amazing, legendary dude, and then here's this redneck from East Texas that builds the stomping boxes. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I was a little disappointed I didn't hear back, just because it's one of my personal favorites. But I'm glad that we got a chance to work this in. You know what I mean?
Yes, and thank you kindly.
Yeah. Well, hell
it
yeah.
is on YouTube. Put it on 1.5 speed, so it's tolerable. You'll get through it in like, what's our time at right now? 1.5? I can't see it.
1.5, maybe pushing 2.
Oh Jesus, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, dude.
All right. Well, man, have a good evening. We'll keep showing each other cool guitars as we get them and all that. And
hell
anytime,
yeah.
man, holla.
Awesome, man. You have a good evening, dude. And thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.
Later.
Wu-Tang.